Hello, 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 and welcome back to a long awaited episode of The Bakery. It's been a couple weeks, maybe about two, maybe three. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I lost track for a while. Uh, been doing a lot of different things lately, trying to get myself going, trying to get my life together. So, it's just been a lot of back and forth. Sorry. Eh. But anywho, um, we're here, we're present, we're ready, and let's get it going. So today's episode, I kind of want to. I don't really have an agenda, but I kind of want to freelance it a little bit. Just talk about some things, some emotions. Uh, I mean, I guess that can be the title of the episode. Is just emotions, uh, just feeling certain ways, coming across different types of things, and just how I've changed my life for the better, and how I've worked on being a less emotional person. I'm not saying that I've completely shut out my emotions, but you know, I've given myself a chance to, kind of evaluate myself every week, every day almost. And I do that because I feel like I have to. I feel like when it comes to certain people and who I'm around and certain crowds, I have to adjust myself in a way that I don't want to be the typical person that everybody else is. And that's no offense to anybody else. There's no offense to anybody who's watching. I just feel like for me, I have to set an example not only for myself, not only for God, but also my peers. Me being a little bit older than everybody else, I feel like I have to hold myself to a certain standard. Um, and it's not exactly setting myself to a certain standard, but and not exactly setting a certain example, but you know, I am older than a lot of my friends. I mean, they're probably like only 2 years younger than me, and a lot of them are mature for their age. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like even though I'm a little bit older than them, I also have to be. I don't know. I guess a certain type of way. Not necessarily. I don't know. I'm gonna get into it, and we'll go we'll go as we begin to discuss it. So, um, recently, I've been trying to put myself in a position to be successful in life, and I didn't exactly have that opportunity for majority of my college career. I mean, I wouldn't say I didn't have the opportunity, but I was in the beginning stages of, you know, doing the whole adult thing, paying a rent, having bills, taking care of car issues. And those of you who know me know I have been dealing with a lot of car issues over time. So I I think from college to now has been a big transition, and it's allowed me to grow in certain ways, different aspects of life. I I've recently, gotten in a better position with work, whereas working part time and putting myself transitioning into full time has been in full effect. Um, that has changed a lot of different things for me. Um, I keep saying I hate that I keep saying I'm sorry. It's changed a lot of different things for me. I've had to learn that this is kind of what life is now. Not necessarily kind of, but what it is. I have to adjust my life a lot more. I don't have as many off days as I want to. I don't have the freedom at night like I used to. I don't get to, just call out whenever I want to. I have to adjust my schedule and put a lot of things to the side in order for me to, like I said, be successful and have a much more mature life. Now, that being said, I do have days where I don't feel like doing anything. I feel like a lot of the time that I don't give myself a chance to think and actually register what's going on around me because I just completely shut down. And I hate that I do that, but I feel like for so many years, that was the only way I knew how to handle a situation because I can get overwhelmed and, like I said, I tend to shut down and then I'm not thinking properly. So when it comes to that kind of situation, I feel like I have to think before, not, no, I'm sorry, not think, but I have to sit, relax, and assess the situation. When there's times where I get overwhelmed, I don't do that properly, and I've gotten better to whereas I actually control my thoughts. And when I say control my thoughts, I'm not like, all right, you stop, you stop, you stop. No, I mean, I sit in my space, I close my eyes for about 5 to 10 seconds, I breathe, and then I'm calmed down. And I think that's helped me a lot more. Also, with writing in my journal from week to week, has also helped me put a lot of thought on paper because I never realized how much it helped, and I didn't want to do it because a lot of lazy factors, which I'm also working on, and trying to break habits. But I just didn't want to write. I didn't think it would be helpful, but it's actually changed a lot of my perspective on a lot of things. So having this adult life now, and like I said, transitioning into having bills, doing a lot more with things that I have to adjust and learn to do in life has been a task for me. So we already talked about, having a full-time job. Now, moving on, I've just transitioned into having some bigger bills. Um, Screw it. I just recently got a new car, and it's it's a very nice car. It's a lot newer than what I did have, and going through that whole process of getting the new car and how much I'm gonna pay a month and this and that, and you know anybody who's bought a new car knows the process. It was a lot for me, and at the beginning, I made a mistake, and I didn't, not necessarily a mistake, but I bumped my head, I guess you can say, and I felt like I was doing the right thing, but I was also feeling like I was pressured into doing that thing, and it got to the point where I was just like, scrap it. I don't even want to do it anymore. But again, the steps that I've taken to get better with that emotion and calming down, I had to actually just sit and talk to myself a little bit. I had to tell myself like, yo, like you can't be getting mad like this. Like, yes, it's a lot. Yes, you have to, do the right steps carefully, but you can do it. You've done a lot more than you can imagine. You've done a lot more for yourself than you would have ever thought you were going to do before. So having that realization and explaining that to myself, it was very eye-opening, I guess you can say. And when I opened my eyes to it, I was like, man, like why am I getting upset? Why am I letting this, bother me so much? And so I took the time to think and having this discussion between me, my uncle, my mom, my dad, you know, a friend, which having a friend, having these friends, when I talk to them, they kind of help me understand like it's okay. You don't have to rush. You don't have to speed through this process. Like take your time and pick the car that you think is best gonna fit you. You know, and I think that also helped me a lot too because you don't. A lot of people don't have friends like that that'll comfort them and not necessarily comfort them, but help them understand like it's okay. You know, you don't have to feel like you have to do it right now. Just take your time with it, process everything that you need to process, go back to the drawing board, you know, whatever you need to do to figure out what's the next step for you. So when I did all that and had the conversations and felt like I was okay, I I noticed a lot of change. And then also with my mom, and she helped me as well. You know, we ended up getting the process done a lot smoother. I was able to get what I needed, and now I'm sitting comfortable in something that I can afford and that I can, you know, be proud of. I think I think this car is something that I'm proud of because I did the whole thing myself while my mom was with me. So she got to see me go through the steps with her being there. And then as far as that, I think that was pretty much it. But we're about to get into the meat of it right now. So, again, we're talking about emotions. We're talking about how, you can handle certain situations. I just recently had an issue where I felt like I wasn't supported. I felt like, you know, and all the things that I've done in my life and all the things I've done around other people, and that's including quote unquote friends that I thought I had. Um, that includes, me doing Twitch, me explaining certain stuff to people, that whole umbrella, just in general speaking. I felt like there has been a lot of people who have secretly been throwing shade to me. I also feel like there have been people who don't believe in me. I feel like there are people that literally just want to see me fail because they're used to me not having anything. And now that I've come in this era of doing for me and only me, I feel like that intimidates a lot of people. I think that they're seeing a different side of me that scares them. Not necessarily scares them, but shocks them. And I kind of like it because I've always had the opportunity of shaking hands with adversity. Me and adversity are like this. And I welcome adversity a lot of the times. Yeah, there are days where I let it, get to me a lot and I allow it to take over, but I never give up. And that comes with a lot of self-drive that I've had for years because I've always been told, "Oh, you're this and oh, you're not good enough and blase blase blah and, things of that nature, whatever may come with that." And sometimes it does linger, it lingers in my mind and I've had to tell myself like you cannot let this beat you. This is not going to beat you because you're better than that and you will not allow it to control your mind. And every day I have that conversation with myself because I have to constantly remind myself that not everybody's going to have my best interests. Not everybody's going to be like, "Hey, I'm so proud of you. Like, good job." Not everybody's going to support what I like to do. And I've accepted that, you know. Um, Even with this whole car thing, like, it was an instance where somebody got mad at me about it. And again, I'm not going to name drop and I don't want to explain the whole situation because it's never that deep. But in the event of when I got the car, there was a lot of shade thrown towards me, and of course, I didn't like it. I didn't understand it, and it kind of hurt me to see that kind of unfold the way it did. But like I said, with the whole evaluating my emotions and checking my attitude, I didn't allow it to make me act out in a certain way. You know, I was able to be like, okay, if that's what you feel, then that's just what it is. I'm sorry I didn't do it your way, but this is the best way I saw fit for myself. And it hurt me because I thought this person was on my team. I thought this person would be happy that I did something for myself, and yet they showed me that they care more about themselves than just being happy for me. And so I had to self-evaluate because I was on the edge of just saying screw it, like I'm done. I'm going to tell them off. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Whatever. A lot of anger. And I don't like being angry. I'm not a very angry person. I'm genuinely a happy person. I love to be happy. I love to, spread positivity, spread cheer, and, give off that God loving vibe. I've always been like that. I've never been the type to be ugly towards anyone because I wouldn't want it done to me. And I've had a lot done to me before, ugly wise. I've had people talk about me for years. Everybody's gonna talk about you for years. It's gonna happen. Um, I've had people be ugly to me. I've had people talk about me. I've had people make up lies about me that aren't even true, and that comes with a lot of emotion on me. Um, Now again, I didn't let that kind of stuff linger because I was like, okay, well, if you didn't hear from me, why would you think it's true? So I was able to kind of let that go and be what it is. But when I dealt with that situation and I found out what I found out, I was very hurt by it. Like I said, I don't ever treat anybody disrespectfully. I don't ever treat anybody less than who they really are. If anything, I try to give advice. I try to, you know, say my piece in a respectful manner. And if people don't take it that way, there's nothing I can do. Um, I just have to let it be what it is. I'm still gonna love people the way they are. I'm still gonna respect people for who they are. I'm never going to just say, "Screw you, you're doing this. You're dumb. You're stupid." No, because people don't deserve to hear that kind of stuff. It's not nice. And though I've done it in the past as a joke, it's still not okay. It's not nice. So that's just something that I feel like me as a person with my emotions and my attitude that I've had to work on and that I've gotten better at has helped me a lot in these coming days that are coming. Coming days that are coming. Wow. Why did I have to say it like that? In these days that are coming. We'll say that. There we go. And then I think the last part of this I want to say what happened next was dealing with my emotions with people and with girls. I hate talking about this subject. This is so annoying. When it comes to women, I think that I am, again, along with everybody, with other people, I feel like I am the most respectful male I can think of. Now, there may be some that are better than me. I don't know. I personally don't care because I'm worried about me and how I carry myself at the end of the day. If I don't carry myself the proper way, the respectful way, then I get hard on myself. Even when it comes to making decisions, even when it comes to, you know, giving my very best, I'm very hard on myself. And I feel like I have to be. Because if I don't set that example for myself, somebody else who's watching me, who's younger than me, or, who's been in my life for years, may look at me and be like, oh, he's not actually what he says he is. Or, oh, he's not actually what people say he is. And not that I care what people say, but I've always been the same person for years. Why am I going to change that up? Now I can grow, I can grow into this wonderful sunflower that's getting ready to sprout, but I don't want to change my personality. And I can't change my personality because this is who I am. Like I said, I can grow and fix a lot, but I don't want to completely change into something that I'm not. And so, I in this generation of dating, I feel like it's harder for a gentleman like me because a lot of people my age, a lot of people my age, and this is something that I've watched. A lot of people my age only want to have fun, only want to lust after certain things, only want to have this persona or this popularity. And that's okay. Some people thrive off of that kind of stuff, and that's totally fine. I don't think I do. I don't like to be. I try not to be. And to anybody, any of my friends that are watching this, this is not about y'all. This is just me talking about our generation as a whole. I feel like our generation is terrible, and even the generation coming up after us is terrible, and the generation after them is terrible because a lot of it is social media. A lot of it is, oh, I want to be this type of person. I want to look this type of way. I want to have, you know, this, and this. If I don't have this, and this, then I'm not cool enough. I don't matter. And I hate that that's the standard that we've set for ourselves. Even with our women, I hate that women only want a certain type of man. Or I hate that women look at me, right? And they're like, oh, well, he's too nice. Oh, well, you know. Or they just come up with these lies that they come up with these lies for the reason why they don't want to date me, or not even just me, but for other people that are, in that same realm as me. And I've had to have this talk with myself multiple times and let myself know, if this person doesn't like you, so what? Right? I used to get upset. I used to let it linger. I used to allow it to corrupt my mind and think less of me. But again, working on myself, I had to realize, okay, this is not the last woman on this earth. Yeah, she might have been pretty. She might have, had this nice sense of style. She might have had, a great personality. But because she doesn't like me doesn't mean I need to get upset and think less of myself. And I've done it for years, I'll be honest. I've done it for many, many years where I thought, well, I guess I'm just not good enough. And I can't think like that. I hate that that was ever a thought in my mind. And I don't understand where it came from. I'm trying not to get emotional. I don't understand where it came from. Um, I don't know why I allowed my mind to get to that point, and it hurts me because I'm such a genuine person, like I said, and I always try to see the the better in people because I love everybody. You know what I'm saying? I love I wouldn't say I love the human race, but I love who people are, or like how they are, or I love them for who they are. And when it comes to this kind of stuff, I hate when people look at me, like I said, a certain way and think that I'm just this certain type of person. And I'm not. I'm not this. I'm not that person. I'm literally just me. I try to be the best version of me. I try to give the best version of myself every day. And for someone to just flat out just say that I'm something that I'm not, or just treat me any kind of way, it sucks. You know what I'm saying? Just the other day, I had met somebody at a bar, right, buying me drinks, being nice to me, and I'm being nice back, and then you know they were putting on a show for somebody else, and me and that person are not cool anymore. And then you know I contacted the other person, and then she turned around and tried to act like she didn't know who I was, and that hurt. That hurt me because I was nice. Uh, you know, I didn't disrespect, and I was cool. You know what I'm saying? But then for them to turn around and act like they didn't know me, it sucked. That hurts. I don't people. I think people don't realize the amount of weight that comes with how you treat people. And that's a lot of reason why people try to hurt themselves. There's a lot of reason why people, you know, they just go through life depressed, quote unquote. So I think that with all that type of energy, with all that type of behavior, why I do my self evaluation, because I see how other people act. I see how people treat other people. I know I don't want to be that. And I feel like it's important for me to check my character, check myself whenever I go out anywhere, whether it be the store, whether it be a bar, whether it be the movies, whether it be on a date. I cannot judge because I'm not perfect either. I'm me too. They're going to be them. So it would be a contradiction for me to sit here and judge them, and I'm not even, at my full potential. I'm not at 100%, and I probably will never be at 100%, but I'm working towards that. So I found a couple Bible verses that I thought, were important as far as, you know, dealing with other people, dealing with emotions and things like that. It is this verse is or this yeah, this verse is First Corinthians chapter 13 verse 6. I believe, yes. It says rejoice rejoiceth rejoiceth not in unrighteousness, but rejoiceth with the truth. And then there's also Romans 12 and 9, and it says, let love be without hypocrisy, abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good. I'm not sure if I said that first word right. I think I did. And then I also, with the part about dating, I found a couple other verses, and it said, and this one's Matthew 6 and 33. It says, but seek ye first his kingdom and righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. And then Proverbs 6 and 24, and it says, whosoever find a wife findeth a good thing, and obtaineth favor in Jehovah. And I think those verses were important and stuck out to me because, and let me go back because I don't want to mess up what I said. But rejoiceth in not in unrighteousness, but rejoiceth with the truth. Be true to yourself, man. Be true to who you are. Be true to the person you were created to be. Be true to the light that you want to spread in the world. Don't put on a persona that you're not. Don't don't let the world tell you who you're supposed to be. At the end of the day, you are loved by the person you are. You are loved by family, and you are loved by your true friends. You know, don't allow negativity to create a negative heart. Don't allow anger to corrupt your mind and heart as well. Don't allow it to make you make choices that you wouldn't normally make. It's better to have good choices with a good heart versus the opposite. And that's just realistic. And then when it comes to, you know, dating, and this is for men and women my age, you have to be willing to find, not actually, I'm sorry, you don't have to find, but you have to be patient when it comes to dating and knowing who's the right person for you, who's going to actually be serious, who's actually going to stick around. Because at the end of the day, if you're not happy with who you're dating, then why? Why are you wasting your time? You know, it's also knowing when to let go of that energy that's bringing you no good. And that's probably one of the hardest things that anybody could do. And that'll be next week's message, you know. Knowing when the time is right and when to let go. But for this one, for this episode, I would just say, be a good person. Be the person that you were created to be. Love others. Treat people with respect. And don't allow the corruption of the world corrupt you. And keep a pure heart for sure. 100%. But with all that being said, that's it for this episode. I appreciate y'all for coming through. As always, like I've stated in past episodes, I'm going to try to be consistent with this thing because I think this is not only a good outlet for me, but I could be helping somebody else who's watching, you know, and I just want to be a light from God and a light God created for the world to, you know, have these conversations. Because I feel like a lot of people don't get to talk about these types of things. And if they do, they talk about it with a therapist or a friend. But I think having a different perspective or knowing that they're not alone, you know, kind of helps a lot. So I'm grateful for this platform to be able to express what I'm also dealing with, what other people might also be dealing with, and just kind of, you know, giving my opinion, giving an advice if I can. If it's advice for you, cool. You know, if it's not, you know, I'm trying my best. But again, I appreciate y'all coming and watching and actually spending time here. And again, I'm going to be trying to post this as soon as possible. Like I said, I have a lot going on. So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Love each other. Keep the peace. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Love y'all, man.